What do you know about sea turtles?
They're endangered.
Yes, Bree?
They like the mother goes like on the beach to lay them like under the thing and then like she lets them live.
So the mother lays the eggs on the beach. That's one.
They're endangered, right?
They are endangered. Some of them are critically endangered. Some of them are threatened. Which there's different levels of being at risk. Yes.
Curtain edge.
Alligators and sharks, you know?
Yeah, the eggs, right? Or the actual turtles.
They eat the turtles.
Yeah, they do. Sharks do. I don't know
They
about.
try to do parts on the shells. There's a
Listen,
net.
guys.
There's a net caught out.
Yeah, you can pull that off if you want. So what Cameron was saying was sharks and alligators. Yes, Ashley.
Okay, they can't fit there.
Very good. Not many people know that. They can't. Did you guys know that sea turtles can't pull their whole bodies in their shells? No. And let's look at the differences between a sea turtle and a land turtle. By looking at these, which one is a sea turtle?
The big one.
This one. Which one's a land turtle? Now, what's different about this shell and this shell?
Size.
Wait,
The color. That one's more flat so it can swim easier, and that one's more rounded.
What do you call this when something's shaped to help it move through like water? It's an adaptation, that's right. It's also called hydrodynamic. Kind of like how an airplane is aerodynamic.
Yeah, air.
When it deals with water, it's called hydrodynamic. So if you look at its shell, it flattens out, so there's not a lot of room inside the shell. And that makes it move faster. Now, this one is more rounder. Why do you think it's more rounder?
For protection.
Protection, why?
Because like foxes and stuff need it.
So it can go in its shell, so it has more room to go in its shell all the way. And like on land, it's good to go in your shell, right? Because I mean, the dog might come up and try to bite it, but it won't get in. But what if a sea turtle could go in its shell? Would that be helpful for it?
No.
Why not? No.
Because inside the water, it's
Yeah.
too heavy.
So what would happen to it as it would sink? And what do turtles breathe?
Air.
So would that be good then?
No.
No. So it's not a good adaptation to have to go in its shell. So it doesn't need it. So if it's going to get eaten, it's going to get eaten, right? So I'll pass this around. This is a green sea turtle. And why do you think it's called a green sea turtle?
Because it's green. Because it's skin. At least the sea.
Skin's green, but like other turtles are green, right? Why do you think this one is called a green one?
It eats plants.
That's exactly right. It eats plants. So the fat, the muscle, all of that stuff is green. So these turtles are called green sea turtles because, and they're actually out here they're pretty good. I mean, I don't eat sea turtles, but my Hawaiian family, they had my great grandma. She's actually eaten sea turtle before, so you know, that's before they knew that they're endangered and stuff.
It got injured right there.
Yeah, probably. I don't. All right, so the next turtle I'm going to talk about. Who's seen this design before?
I have.
Where have you seen it before? I'm sorry?
Camouflage.
A cheetah? Yeah, a cheetah kind of looks like this. Who's heard of the tortoiseshell design? Who's had glasses or hair?
Is that where it comes from?
This is where it comes from. And like hundreds of years ago, they used to kill these turtles exclusively. Actually, even today, poachers do it. But they used to kill these creatures purposefully just to get their shell. So they would catch the turtle, they would rip off its carapace, which is what you call the shell.
They just rip
Carapace.
it off?
They would strip it off, then they throw the rest of the turtle back in. Look what's on the back here. What is this?
It's fine.
So what, you think it survived?
No.
No, it didn't survive at all. So you think that was a great thing to do?
Definitely no.
But it still happens today, and poachers try to kill these guys. Now, what do you think gives this shell its color?
Oh, the like the rock, like the water, with the sun.
That's a good guess. The weather, okay. The sun? They probably contribute a little bit, but it gets this color by what it eats. So by looking at this, what do you think it might eat?
Trees,
And stuff, maybe.
like
These guys live near coral reefs.
coral.
No, they probably don't eat coral, but they eat sponges. You guys know what sponges are, right? Like SpongeBob SquarePants. Well, they eat sponges, and that's what gives them this color. But it also makes them poisonous. So this is, I think, the only sea turtle that is poisonous to eat. Not that you would want to eat them, but because the sponges have silica in them, which is the same stuff that's in glass. So I'll pass this one around. If you put it up to the light, You can see through it like that. All right, the next turtle I like to talk about is this one. Now, what do you think? This is not a snapping turtle.
Oh,
That's a leather
that one up there. That one's funny.
Tortoise.
Raise your hand. Do you think this is a land turtle or a sea turtle?
Sea turtle.
A sea turtle. It is a sea turtle. Does anyone know what kind?
Aren't the leatherbacks the big cute?
Leatherbacks are the largest. This isn't a leatherback. Leatherbacks get larger than this. This is a loggerhead sea turtle. Who's heard of a loggerhead sea turtle? Heard of a loggerhead? Well, they can get up to like 700 pounds.
How much is that one?
This one probably weighed about 300 or 400 pounds. This is an average size. Huh?
How big is leatherbacks?
Ooh, I'll get to that in just a minute. That's one of my favorite things to talk about. So look at the spine on this. This one actually died in Topsail Island, which is about an hour south of here. Oh, cool. So you've been there. There's a turtle rescue hospital there.
Yeah.
This turtle died there, unfortunately. But loggerheads were called loggerheads because sailors, hundreds of years ago, used to see something floating in the water. This is a loggerhead skull. And this thing, it was really dark and green, brown. It would be like this, floating in the water as it's getting air. So if you looked really far and you saw something just bobbing like that, what would you think it is?
A log.
Log. So like, hey, mateys, there's a logger over there. There's a log over there. But it wasn't a log. It was a sea turtle, a loggerhead. Their heads are bigger than most of the other turtles. So that's also why they have a big log head. So we talked about adaptations a little bit in last class, right? Well, one of the coolest adaptations, I think, is its ability to bite down. I want you guys to bite with your teeth, like that, and then feel the muscle on the side of your cheek. Go ahead and feel it. Relax your jaw and bite again. Just feel it flexing. You feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I were to stick my finger in your mouth, would you be able to bite it off?
No.
If you really wanted to.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could.
No. Not even.
How about if you put your finger in my mouth, would I be able to bite it off?
Maybe.
Probably.
But if you bite it on the right spot, if you like it right there, like joint, you'd be able to.
Yeah, so I
like
would-
bite it right there. No.
Maybe. I mean, I would chew on it. I would probably crush it, right?
Ew.
Okay, let's stop talking about you eating your finger. So that muscle's about this round, right? Maybe about that long. You see these two holes in the back of the loggerhead skull? Guess what goes in there? The jaw muscles.
Dang.
So imagine your little jaw muscle in it, what you can bite through. Imagine what he can bite through. What do you think he eats? No.
Shark.
Things.
Sharks eat that,
Other things with
Eat something with bones. Like
Maybe
some
bones.
fish.
crustaceans.
yes, they eat crustaceans. What else would they eat? I just showed you one.
Gastropod.
Gastropods, awesome, yes, gastropods. So they actually can eat them just like we can eat potato chips, okay? When they bite down on these things, it's like, you ever put a potato chip in your mouth and just like crush it? That's what they can do to crustaceans and gastropods. So that's their primary diet. And that is a very important adaptation because why? Why is that important? Why is that adaptation important? To be able to chew down and eat that.
Because they're so big, they need more than like little small things. So they need to learn how
So they're
to chomp
not
big
just-
things. And
Yeah, they need to be able to chew on it and all right, break it open. Okay. Yeah, they need to be able to chew it small, digest it. Also, though, a lot of animals don't eat those things. So if they couldn't eat crustaceans and gastropods and bivalves, it would have to compete with other animals to eat their food. So luckily, they have adapted to eat gastropods and bivalves and things so that they can get more food and grow as a species. Now, if we look here, this little hole, you guys know what that is?
ice.
What went in there? Huh? Not the tongue. Not the nose. You're getting warmer though. The brain.
No.
This is the brain, where the brain goes. Now, do you think the loggerhead is stupid?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. It's pretty smart. I mean, it has a small brain. Why do you think it has a small brain? There's a reason why.
It has big muscles and
Yeah, the muscles take up a lot of space, and why else? What does the brain need? What does the brain use up?
Energy.
Energy, and how does it get that energy?
caffeine.
Say it actually. Oxygen. And what is there a lack of in the water for a sea turtle? So would it be able to dive really deep for a long time if it had a big brain? Why not?
Because it takes up oxygen.
It uses up oxygen.
Is
Like
that
crazy.
why we can't stay on the water?
Yeah.
Like lung capacity.
Well, part of it's lung
Is
capacity.
that why your ears start going like that?
That's because the pressure pushes on it. That's a good guess if it's near your brain. But yeah, so our brains use up oxygen, and I could probably hold my breath for like a minute, minute and a half. But a sea turtle can hold his breath for a few hours underwater. So if it had a big brain, it wouldn't be able to do that. Would it be able to get more food if it had a bigger brain? No, it wouldn't be able to stay in the water that long. So that's another adaptation of our loggerhead.
Is that why it grows so big?
Huh?
Is that why it grows so big?
Yeah, I mean it grows big because it lives a long time, because it's well adapted to live in its environment. Okay? So that is a loggerhead. Now, I want to talk about a turtle I don't have a carapace for. What's a carapace again?
Shell.
Shell. It's the shell of a turtle. Carapace. And that is what?
Leatherback.
A leatherback. It is the largest sea turtle in the world. Actually, I think it's the largest turtle in the world. Yeah. It's the largest turtle. They caught a male leatherback in England that weighed 2,037 pounds.
Isn't that big, funny looking one right there?
Yeah, you see that big one? It's like that. That big one is a leatherback.
Should it be like bigger than that big boxy shell?
This one right there?
Yeah, actually, you've seen a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah, that's how big it is?
Can you get close to being that big?
That one's live. I've seen it on the
Huh?
Like the one out there that said Big Daddy?
Yeah. The one that says Big Daddy on it. Now, the leatherback sea turtle, it doesn't have a hard shell. That's why they call it a leatherback. So when it dies, its shell kind of degrades with it. That's why we don't have a shell for that. But the leatherback sea turtle is really cool because it is also the deepest diving sea turtle. Okay, they can dive
So
a
they have
mile and a
really
half,
small
2 miles underwater. Huh?
So they have a really, really small brain.
They do have a pretty small, probably around the same size as the loggerhead.
What
But-
makes it better than,
I'm sorry?
what makes it ever done on that?
That's a good question. Scientists are still trying to figure that out because not a lot is known about it, but they dive down to what's called the deep scatter layer. And in the 50s, they invented sonar, and they used to like scatter down these sonar waves to hit the bottom of the ocean. But what would happen is they would hit this layer of something hard. And what they found out is all the animals that live really deep in the ocean, like jellyfish and like little floaty things, little sponges, not sponges, but gelatinous creatures. They all live down there during the daytime. And then in the nighttime, they all come up to the shallow depths of the water. So the leatherback actually dives up and down all day long. During the daytime, it goes really deep, and during the nighttime, it doesn't go that deep. So that explains what it eats. So what would a leatherback eat?
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Its whole diet is mainly jellyfish. And they eat these jellyfish that are almost as wide as this room, almost as tall as this room.
I know jellyfish that big.
They're called lion's mane jellies. They're in the Arctic Circle. Yeah, they're in deep water, and you usually don't see them near shore. But they eat these because these jellyfish, what do you think those jellyfish eat?
That's too big.
Those are big jellyfish. They eat codfish, they eat like huge.
That big,
Yeah.
like, if you saw that, what would you do?
I would swim away. I would say, leatherback, come on, hang out with me. Okay. And what's cool about leatherback is it's shaped like a V, kind of like a swimmer is. And it is probably one of the most efficient swimmers because the loggerhead and the green sea turtle, they swim like this. But the leatherback is really efficient, and it goes like this. It uses the backstroke to push water behind it, the front stroke to push water. So it's like figure 8 swimming like that. But the other turtle is like. So anyways, that is my talk on sea turtles. You guys have any questions about sea turtles now?
Yes.
All right, well, we're going to go on the beach now. We're actually going to do some stuff related to sea turtles some more. Then we're going to Probably go in the water a little bit.
No, you're
Okay? All right. So let's go.